Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Oz the Alchemist, and this is my partner.
Miss Lola Love.
And today is a very interesting day because we gonna talk about what we normally talk about, but we also gonna talk about some of the news that has been going around. But before we do anything, let's start off with how was your week?
Woo, child. Busy. So freaking busy. I'm still tired. Cause it's just, yeah, it was a long week. And it's to be expected because we have a lot of events at the school going towards the end of the year. But it's been fun for the kids. I'm not gonna lie. It's been fun, but it's just been hectic and busy. And this week is going to be the exact same.
Oh, they ain't out of school yet.
Oh no, we don't get out of school until the 12th.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
So
think I think my
this is our
kids I think
huh?
my kids got I think my kids get out this week. Like this going through this week they out. But I
hmm
stopped teaching last Tuesday because that was my last class. So,
mm, yeah. Yep. This is their last full week. We have our end of the year party on Friday, and then next week we're only in for 4 days, so our last day is Thursday. But then we got to start getting prepared for summer camp. So my life just consists of kids, and I don't even have any kids. So, oh man,
honestly, same because I'm basically doing the same thing.
mm,
Teaching
crazy,
art class
crazy.
for for a summer camp.
Let's take this down so people can stop thinking that it's Christmas time. No, I just love the blanket because it's green and it's my favorite color.
All right. Well, I got nothing to report other than work is work and life is life, and as an artist of creation, be creating, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
So, let's jump into it. As we all learned yesterday, I believe it was yesterday,
Mhm.
our truth got released from the WWE, and
No,
this is this is not this is not
wasn't yesterday.
was it yesterday or was it 2 days ago?
This was today.
It was today, this
This
morning.
morning. Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's even worse. It was this morning. Also,
Yes.
found out maybe within the last hour, Carlito is not having his contract renewed. He's being released too. Now, I did see it on something that has been relatively reliable, but I might be wrong. I could be wrong. However, we do know for a fact that our truth is being released. So I think we should focus there. Um, WWE, what are you doing? Why are you getting rid of our truth? What is he not
What?
doing? He's
So they're going to get rid of two vets.
too
Two
vets.
vets who are also
If what I saw about Carlito was true, I ain't gonna say it's true or not because nobody has said anything other than the site that I've seen that is normally reputable. So it might be true, it might not be, but I know for a fact we know that our truth is gone, and the outpour of we don't like this or we love you, our truth is a clear indicator that you probably shouldn't have did it. Because why? Why? Our truth is literally one of the reasons that we watch the shows because we know he's going to do something hilarious. He can still wrestle, so it's not like he's lost a step. We literally just saw him wrestle on Friday,
Mhm.
and then so you have his last match be him wrestling JC Mateo. If
I'm
anything,
confused.
the last thing should have been him wrestling John Cena on a bigger stage than Saturday Night Main Event. This was the most garbage decision that I've seen that y'all made so far, and I'm sure it's going to be more because for whatever reason you're cutting people like you're losing money, and we know you're not losing money if you partnered up with Netflix and got all of these brand deals. So what's the point? What is the reason?
I didn't know if you had anything
No,
else you
no,
want to
I'm
say.
with. Now you go ahead. I'll chime back in because this is
I
ridiculous.
You sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
You you sure? I'm confused. I thought it was a joke, because certain people were saying, "Hey, our truth. Um, today is June 1st, not April 1st." So I'm thinking that it was going along those lines of him just being our truth. But to find out that this is actually real is crazy to me. The only way that I could ever be accepting of this is if this was our truth's decision to leave, but he didn't leave. It says that he was released, unless he said he did not want his contract to be renewed. That is
Yeah,
the only way that I will accept this, because that means it was his decision and he has other things that he would like to
right.
dabble in, and I can respect that. But if this was WWE's decision to release him, this has got to be the dumbest decision. This is right up there with Undertaker losing his streak. I'm sorry. This is just stupid. It makes no sense at all. As well as Carlito. Why are you guys getting rid of vets, lovable vets, comedic, that actually bring some type of fun and spice to the feuds that they're in? Like the whole Judgment Day falling apart. Carlito's little I
Quips.
don't want to say rants, but little jokes, little comments that he makes, it makes it even better.
Yeah,
And they play a big part. Him shooting his shot at Raquel, we clearly see it or whatnot. Like, it's cute. So far, so much that we've even said before a few times on the show that when the group disbands, we would like to see, Carlito with Dom, and then him with Raquel and everything, like that whole thing. And then when we saw Raquel slap the apples out of little Roxanne Perez's hand when she tried to give them to Carlito, we thought we saw, okay, maybe they're gonna do something with them. Like, okay, now this is my man, that whole thing. But this is devastating news. Like, I don't understand it. They better have some type of explanation. And I kept hoping for it until I saw The Miz make a post on Instagram where he, you know, spoke very highly of our truth and their time that they spent together when they were in the group Awesome Truth. So that's how I knew that, yeah, this is definitely real. And clearly they are feeling a way about it too. I really, really, really hope that this is a work. I really do. Because even Jimmy commented under our truth's post and said, no yeet. Like, no, I ain't rocking with that. Because they just post that was weird because WWE just posted their reel from backstage what happened on Friday when Jimmy came out to help our truth and our truth called Jimmy family. So it's like, okay, I'm not trying to get too worked up because it just happened. We won't know for sure until tomorrow or until SmackDown. I'm assuming SmackDown since, our truth is doing some stuff, some work with Jimmy or whatnot. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna hold out a little glimmer of hope that this is indeed a work, that that there's just some type of explanation for this. But doing that to Carlito is just completely ridiculous. I mean, it's at a point now, like for what? I understand you guys expanding the company or whatever and doing stuff, but
and if you're expanding the company, you need people.
my thing is, even back in the day, the vets that were still around, you didn't fire them. Like you let them, have some type of position somewhere. I
And that's
mean,
the and that's the thing about our truth thing that I was gonna say, that if you're going to basically release him like this, immediately give him a Legends deal or something, because he's earned it at this point. Y'all just gave Hornswoggle his. Our truth definitely deserves it, so you might as well go ahead and give him that.
I just can't. I can't. Sorry, people. People are being loud outside. But it's just I have no words. I really don't. Like, and that's rare for me, but that really pissed me off It really, really did. And I'm so back and forth about it. I'm like middle ground about the whole situation because I'm hoping that they did not make one of the most dumbest decisions in 2025. I really hope not. Because why would you? He's so over with the people and he has been for years. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what the line was so long that people said that they were waiting in line for a Ron Cena t-shirt for an hour. Everybody was like that. Oh, I've been watching videos on TikTok of people were saying that there was a Walmart that he was in and that the line was wrapped around the Walmart just so people can come and meet this man.
And if
Like,
y'all are so about money, that's clearly you throwing away money. So
it's
what?
just not making sense to me.
Nah,
It's
it
not
don't make
making sense
sense.
to me whatsoever.
Don't make sense whatsoever. And a lot of
We've
stuff ain't been
said
making sense in terms of, and we've been saying it over the weeks. A lot of stuff ain't been making sense, especially when it comes to Raw and how everything's being written. So this is just one of the things that get tacked on to it.
we've said millions of times, protect our truth at all costs. That he is a national treasure to the WWE. I've been watching our truth ever since the Attitude Era when he first came in with Road Dogg. Like, ugh. And he wasn't even our truth yet. He was K Quick. He was K Quick. He was a tag team with Road Dogg, and they would come out and they would do the same spiel, rapping because Road Dogg could actually rap too, and they came out rapping and they ready to fight. Like, man, talk about. I know our truth says over and over that John Cena is his childhood hero, but our truth, you are definitely one of ours because if this is indeed true, I would just like to say thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for the memories and the laughs, man. Definitely the laughs. The segments he had with Little Jimmy, the fuse he had with John Cena, his most recent work that he did with, over the last, I want to say maybe 2-3 years with the Judgment Day, and even the work that he's doing now. Our truth is amazing. He really is. That man doesn't even need to get in the ring. We know he can fight. We know he's athletic. We know that he can, handle himself in the ring. He is one of the best to ever step between those ropes. But he is also, it's like he's a star all across the board. Like,
And the
are you
fact,
freaking kidding me right now?
his
Like,
last
his
match,
mic skills, his ability to adapt in any situation, his comedic skills. Come on, man. Like,
his last
what more
match
do you want?
is with
At this
JC
point, like, what more
Mattel.
do you want? I'm not going to say this is his last match because they said that he's not just gone. We don't know when his contract is going to expire. We don't. He probably just announced it early. It could be his contract is up in 6 months. We don't know. So, for whatever time we have left with our truth, I'm definitely going to cherish it for sure. Um, but now that I think about it, even though they didn't officially choose to retire, our truth as well as Carlito played vital parts in John Cena's career. And with this being John Cena's farewell tour, all of that kind of hits a little differently. Like, man, I remember when Carlito was feuding with John Cena. That was John Cena's first injury with Carlito. It was a nightclub incident, that happened. But well, Carlito attacked him and everything. And at the time, I believe that Carlito became the new United States champion because that was John Cena's first title. And John Cena, that was the first time we ever seen him come back with such a vengeance and aggression when he returned. But they definitely had their great matches that they put on as well as our truth. So those two leaving the same year that John Cena is leaving, it just feels like a part of your childhood is gone because they both were a part of the ruthless aggression era along with him. So all goats, all been in the like John Cena. So thank you both for the work that you've put in. Decade you guys have been, within the business, and it does not go unnoticed. Hilarious. There would never be another R Truth, and there would never be another Carlito. So thank you, both of you. We love you over here, man.
Indeed. Okay, so let's get into Raw.
Yeah.
I don't I don't care about a lot of the stuff that happened. Um, Seth and them talked about what the new plan is for Raw and all that stuff.
On Raw.
Whatever. Um, Penta is going to the qualifying match for Money in the Bank. Well, he's in the match. He's in the Money in the Bank match after beating Chad Gable and Dragon Lee.
Hmm.
Vikingo jumped
Hmm.
in, did his thing when he smacked Chad, which is appropriate. Um, After that, Rusev beat the hell out of Akira Tozawa in like what 6 minutes? Not even six. It was like 2 seconds. He just yeah. I
Let's
don't
just
know
call
where they're
it an
going with this.
embarrassment. I don't. I respect Tozawa's, courage in his heart. But I don't understand why you guys gave us that match in the first place. To be completely honest, it doesn't showcase Rusev's dominance because we already know the type of dominant superstar that he is. What I would like to have seen is Rusev and Otis. That would
Again.
have showed a different type of dominance because Otis is a big dude. But you know what? You have to have a guy like that. I feel like in all the companies, in any era. Tozawa right now, and he is the Spike Dudley of this era. So you got to have that little guy that just got so much heart, and he'll jump in there with the biggest dogs, and he don't care if he gets tossed around because he gonna get right back up. I don't know how Spike Dudley took the bumps that he's taken throughout his career and jump right back up like it was nothing. From taking bumps from his own brothers, the Dudley Boys, the Undertaker, the Rock, Triple H, Austin, like it crazy. The same with Chizawa. So I can respect it because obviously they like it. Like they get right back up. Like, hey, I can't, and I can, I can respect the fact that they're like, I'm not the biggest guy. I'm not the strongest guy, but I love this business and I love being in that ring. So it is what it is. But again, if you're bringing back Rusev, then you need to have him against a formidable opponent. And no offense just to Zawa, but not him.
And that's why they brought out Sheamus, I guess. Sheamus, Sheamus can still go to put on the
It
show
makes
and all of that. And I know they have history being in some group, but I can't remember what the group's name is.
yes, yes. I was gonna say, do you remember?
I was gone by then.
Are you thinking?
I said I was gone by then.
Oh, your screen froze. So
So did yours.
I didn't hear that. Yes. Huh?
I said so did yours. So yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
what's,
weird.
but no, I can't remember what the name of the thing was, what the name of their group was, because I was gone by then.
I can't quite remember the name of the group, but I know that Rusev, um, Sheamus, what is his name? Cesaro. They were a part. They were part of the group. So I
What
think
was
that
like
had
United
something to do
Nations or
with
something?
this something like that. The people in the group were people that weren't, Americans.
Right.
And they did something like that similar back in like the attitude / ruthless aggression era. It's coming into the ruthless aggression era. And it was what was it? It was the ruthless aggression era. The non-Americans. They
Mm.
were called the non-Americans. They were Canadians. And it had like Lance Storm and Christian and all of them. So and they had like a huge feud with the Undertaker, who, called himself the American Badass, and he, waved the flag on his motorcycle, all of that. So that's what put me in the mind of that. Like that's what they were doing. But yeah, they were a pretty dominant group at the time. So Sheamus coming out, and getting the Rusev space, it made sense because of the history that was there and everything.
Yeah, but if we're trying to make it so we see other superstars, get turned into, you know, monsters, we don't need Sheamus for that. We need other people. Like what? That's the thing that I'm saying. Like, why are we recycling people? We just saw Sheamus fight he okay, well he did just come back, I guess, but he was in
He
something with
did.
Drew McIntyre beforehand, but then now he's back, so cool. But we need other people. Y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all have new superstars that y'all could do this stuff with. You have the Alpha Academy. So you have Otis, you got Tozawa that you needed to, beat up to make, better for whatever reason, because that's even a weird premise to go on. But it is what it is. You have other people to use. I'm pretty
Uh
sure.
huh.
So you're using Sheamus, who already is a hardened veteran and knows how to whoop people. What are we doing?
I
It's
don't
just so
know.
much stuff that
I'm
is
not.
irritating me about Raw
I'm
right
not
now.
mad at it. I'm not mad at the Sheamus situation with Rusev just because, like I said, of the history that's there. But I totally understand what you mean as far as, just stop recycling superstars and start utilizing the ones that we have. Because we see the same people every week. I mean, Sheamus leaves, and Sheamus is one of those guys who can get right back in the fold. Like, but I'm not gonna, like I said, sometimes we've been here before. We've been probably not with Raw in recent years, but we've been here before as far as sometimes they go through a little dry spell. I wanna and that happens, but you got to think they're developing these new superstars, that are on NXT, that are on Evolve, that are on the LFG, that are gonna get a guaranteed contract in the end to be able to go to NXT. So they're now, the merging with AAA and TNA and all of that. So we'll start getting new people soon. We'll start getting new people soon. I just feel like right now we're just going a little dry spell going on with Raw and everything. They went
But
through
see,
such a huge time with writing their storylines around certain popping groups from the bloodline to the Judgment Day in the beginning, and so right now we're just going through a shift. That's all. So it'll pick up. It always does. We just got off our WrestleMania high. We just got off of
and even
off
that
of
wasn't,
Backlash
and
a
even
little
that wasn't
bit.
the best high. The first night was because of the main event, but the second one really wasn't.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna disrespect my man like that, because I definitely was. See, the first night was great. Yes, the second night was emotional because I'm gonna be completely honest. I was torn. I wanted John Cena to get his 17th. I didn't know if they were actually going to allow Ric Flair's record to be broken. Um,
Like they care.
it's Rick. No, it's Ric Flair. So it's like, I think in some ways, you pay homage to certain vets. Roman is, the fourth longest reigning champion, but he did not go as far as to beat Bruno San Martino's record, who
He
is the longest. So it's like, to be a
that
part of it
that was
is
ridiculous.
cool, but then to break it is one thing. So John Cena becoming a 16th time champion, they're okay with that. You tied with Ric Flair, but to break the record, I was back and forth and like, are they really going to allow this to happen? And when they allowed it to happen, it was an emotional thing because it's like, man, that is history forever. Your favorite superstar, not yours, but speaking in general, mine, uh, just created history. This is history that I'm going to remember forever. This is history I'm going to tell my kids. Like, this is the longest reigning champion in history, period. There's a stamp on it. And, so I was pretty hot from that. I be like that with WrestleMania anyway. So regardless, I
Yeah,
thought that it was great. Um,
I'm saying it was a high, it just
yeah.
wasn't like the strongest one. And then Backlash,
No, not the
it,
strongest one, but it was a high for me.
right. But then I'm saying Backlash, that one wasn't what I thought it was. I'm happy that we got to see John and Randy because that was like my introduction back into WWE when I came back to it. And seeing that being put to rest, that was great. But Backlash as a whole, I don't even remember the whole thing. So And then now we, like you said, we in a dry spell, and the dry spell is irritating as hell because it's like, what are you doing? And then after that, we got Jay and Gunther again to
What?
go along with my point. We got Jay and Gunther again. They had their conversation where Jay was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm a promise to tap you out again." Like we just saw this literally 4 times by now, 4 to 5 times. How is
Yeah,
something
you're right
new?
about that. You're right about that. You're right about that. But then again, no. That's why I said or whatnot. You got to look at it throughout the board. This has been happening. This isn't the first time this has happened. This has been happening for years. This was
And then
happening
I don't remember because
when
when I was younger, I remember it being like I know there were certain staples, right? John would always be a staple. Randy would always be a staple. Um, at a certain point, CM Punk was always a staple. But every other time, it felt like there was a consistent revolving door of different people just coming in and doing different stuff. Now it's always the same, like 8 different people.
back during the Attitude Era, do you think that Triple H was ever out of the championship running or seen The Rock,
Like
Stone
I
Cold?
said,
None
there's
of them.
always staples, but other people get showcased. There's the
Not really.
staples,
Not
and
when
then
it's
other people get showcased.
not when it's going when we were talking about world title type of conversation. If we're in that conversation or even getting towards being the number one contender for that, no. It's always been like that. You have at your top, I'll say top 10 guys that are heavy in rotation because they're the top 10 guys. So it's like I get that. I get that wholeheartedly. Um I don't want to think too much on it because they always come through. I'm having faith and trust and believing that they're gonna come through. It's just going through that time period right now. Um, Hopefully they start testing the waters with some of the mid carders, But they also have to be the ones that's gonna put that work in too, because being that top guy come with a lot. Being in that conversation even comes with a lot. So if people trying to be the next John Cena, the next Randy Orton, go back and watch them tapes and see what they was doing at the time of their career to get to that spot. I mean, they were a mug back then. They really were. And you got people now or whatnot that's the age, I guess, that they're at now. They're a lot older in mid card situations than the vets were back then. So you kind of got a lot to prove too. Like if you can hang, these dudes been in the business for this many years. I don't. I'm trying to see what the next generation is going to look like. Can I see Carmelo Hayes? Can I see a Trick Williams? Can I see a Jade and Bianca and all of it? These newer this new generation of people. Can I see them 20 years from now still being in the business?
I mean,
Bianca, yes,
Jade and
but
Bianca probably, but Carmelo Hayes and Trick, that all depends on if they work their characters out. And
that's what I
Trick,
say. It.
for the most part, is getting it together. I think better than Melo.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm.
because
No,
the heel
now,
that
now, now.
he's working as now, doing this whole thing with TNA. I dig it more than what he was doing when he was a babyface. Carmelo, he's basically Baby Miz, and we've seen that time and time again. And we still have the Miz, so it's like a little bit of redundancy. So once Carmelo finds his own footing, possibly.
Hmm.
You feel it different?
I don't know. I don't want to say Baby B is. That's a little low blow, but at the same time, not really because hell, Miz he's a vet too. He's in that conversation as well. So I guess that's a compliment to Carmelo. I mean, especially in this early stages of his career, because the Miz wasn't even like this in his early stages of his career. So that's saying something. That's an testament to Carmelo. The Miz sometimes I feel like gets a little bit overlooked, and I don't like that because he's amazing all across the board, from in ring to mic skills to just everything. It ain't nothing that man can't do. Um, Carmelo just needed just a little push in his personality part of his career, and I feel like he definitely got that working alongside the Miz. Um, ain't no telling where this is gonna go because I know that the Miz has an obligation to attend to, being the host of the new show, and he's gonna step away for a little bit, but I think during that time, Carmelo is really going to have to take everything that he's learned by working along him, and just putting it to work, just putting it to work. Um, we saw the last segment that they had with each other. Even, it just Miz wants him to follow his lead, but Carmelo at the same time is like, I'm my own man at the end of the day. Like, thank you for being alongside of me, but what got me here to the dance is me being me, and I'm gonna take what you gave me, but I'm gonna do it my way. And I can respect that. I can respect that. I don't want to see those two break up because they work. They work. It's a little click. It's and I'm digging it. I'm hoping that they come out with merch because I like the whole Oz him and that whole thing. Even though it's corny, it's funny because it's the Miz, and that's how the Miz is. So it works.
Yeah, I mean, if he managed,
But
if he can manage to get him over before he
that's just how
leaves,
I feel.
because I don't feel like Carmelo is completely over.
Huh?
So I said if he can manage to get him over before he leaves, that'd be great. Because I don't feel like Carmelo is exactly over. I know that heels ain't supposed to be liked, but like at a certain point, you gotta like have that little bit of a I hate him, but I like him. Like basically what Drew was. I hate him for when he was fighting with
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk, but I like him because he's a good bad guy. And I don't feel like Carmelo has hit that yet. So we'll see. Um,
Mm-hmm.
After that, we did get Kyrie Sane versus Liv Morgan, and the only thing I remember from that match are basically two things. I remember that Roxanne and Raquel ended up fighting, and that cost Liv the match. And I remember that Liv's cheeks were all out, and that was it.
Wait, whose cheeks? Who was showing cheeks?
Liv,
When was Liv showing cheeks?
her gear,
I don't remember that. Gotta go back and go see that. I don't remember cheeks
cause
being shown now.
cause it's like they were like pulled up into her, like it was like basically, or at least that's how it looked when she was pinned or something. Cause yeah, but I think she wore that gear before.
Was
But it's
that
just
wait? Did she have on the leotard?
yeah, the red one.
Was this the leotard?
I think
Oh, them
so.
cheeks always out now. I
That's what I'm
love to see it.
saying. So I'm like, that's a
I thought you were
choice.
saying she had a wardrobe
Oh
malfunction.
no, 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 no. No, it was
Oh
just her
yeah.
gear, like set up like that. And it's like, well, all right, you and that shit ain't what's it called? Ain't wow,
PG?
I'm blanking on this word. Not PG, like uncomfortable. It
Huh?
look uncomfortable. What?
Was it uncomfortable for you to
No,
watch?
no. I said for to wear, it looks like it's uncomfortable. To watch, absolutely not.
Well, I'm here to attest to you to let you know it is definitely not uncomfortable to wear. They're actually quite comfortable.
Okay.
Yes. So thank you, Liv. I have to get one in red. Mine's in black. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I love the gear. I wasn't too hyped over the whole Kyrie match. Kyrie's good. I was happy to see Liv return and Liv, get her match and everything. But let's talk about what had happened right before the match. Yes, Liv did come back. But Liv
With a quick,
also ran into a new face in the clubhouse.
she
Little
came
Miss
back.
Roxy.
She came back
She
fast
came
as hell immediately. Like the
she came back to Chicken Nugget being given to her dirty dom and a shoulder rub that was starting.
and and you know, it's not his fault that people know that he likes chicken nuggets. It's not his fault. He likes chicken nuggets. What? And then maybe his shoulders was hurting, and she
You know
gave him a
what?
shoulder rub in front of other people. It's not like it was private.
You know what? You know what? That's the worst kind of woman to do stuff right in front of everybody. It's like hiding out in the damn open. So no. And chicken nuggets, Dom, you're rich. You can go and buy as many chicken nugget Happy Meals as you
First of
want
all,
to.
first of all,
But
first of
you're
all,
going to
first of all,
sit
you
here
ain't
and want
never
to
gonna
take
be
some
too rich for a
chicken
chicken nugget.
nuggets
Let's
from
stop lying
dirty
right now.
little
Let's stop lying right now. You ain't never gonna be too
what?
rich for some chicken nuggets.
Who said that I'm rich for chicken nuggets? Did you not hear what I said?
I said you're never too rich for chicken nuggets.
Who said that
You said
somebody's
he's
rich?
rich. You said he was rich.
He's rich so he can buy his own damn chicken nuggets. That's
Oh,
what I said.
well.
See, men are always want to get defensive. No, I ain't never too rich to get chicken nuggets. Buy your own chicken
Well,
nuggets.
first
You
of
are
all,
with
well,
another
if
woman.
somebody go, if
Why
somebody
are
go
you
bring me
accepting
chicken
gifts from another
nuggets,
woman? Why
why?
are you accepting chicken nuggets from another woman?
It's chicken nuggets.
And you know that
It's
means something
food.
because you know that's one of your. If you're Dom, you know that chicken nuggets are one of your what favorite foods and one of your weaknesses. You know that. Liv knows that for sure because she also did it when Dom was with Rhea. So my thing is, Dom, as if you're trying to learn from your mistakes and have a different relationship with Liv than you'd have with Rhea because you said Rhea was controlling and all these other things. Okay, whatever. So if you feel that way, why make the same type of choices
But
that you did? Why
but
sit there and accept chicken nuggets from another woman if you know that that's your thing? That's like if I say French fries are my thing, that's my weakness, and you keep bringing me French fries every day. I'm
so
not accepting that if I'm with someone. No.
so so it's wrong when Roxanne do it, but it's okay that
What?
Liv did. So it's okay that Lit that Rock. So it's not
You're
okay that
breaking.
Roxanne did it. I don't know why. Is it my internet or yours? Um. So it's not cool that Roxanne brought him chicken nuggets, but Liv brings somebody chicken nuggets. It's okay because she getting what she want out the deal. But somebody else bring your
No
man
one said
chicken
it was
nuggets, and it's
okay.
wrong.
You. Oh no, I
So
never
so
said it
she
was
can't.
okay.
I'm
You know
saying
how I
she
felt
can't be
about
upset.
what
She can't be upset.
you
You
already
did the same
know.
exact thing.
Hey, my thing is or whatnot. I'm not trying to hear none of that. You mine now. You
Wow.
mine now. So you better get them chicken nuggets out of here. And I'm glad that Raquel, everybody needs a best friend like Raquel, knocked them chicken nuggets up out of his hand. You're not even gonna put a chicken nugget in your mouth. Okay? She probably put some type of love voodoo spell on it, and then you trying to eat it. No, we're not doing none of that. Liv didn't bring it. The guys didn't bring it. You not about to eat it. The heck is wrong with him? And what's wrong with you? You only saying that because it's
Because
stinky.
If Roxanne brought me some damn chicken nuggets, you absolutely right. I'm eating them.
Embarrassing.
Okay.
Embarrassing.
Um. Okay, but after this, we got Lyra and Becky having another conversation. I don't remember the. Oh, it was the thing about she went home to her
Oh
house.
no,
What?
not that. No, we still own this Liv and Roxanne situation
What else?
because
Oh,
during the match,
right.
what happened?
Oh yeah. Basically, Liv lost because Raquel and Roxanne got into it. So,
Exactly. I
but then,
understand
and then,
Roxanne's intention
but
on
then, at the end of all of that, Liv still blamed Raquel instead of Roxanne, which is weird.
because, but no, I don't want to say that it's really weird because Roxanne is a rookie. Yeah, she came out there to try to help Liv, but Raquel let her emotions get the best of her because she does not like Roxanne. So it's more so like, I'm here, so why are you here? Like at that moment, I get that they're like, you're not about to be up in this group, and that's how Raquel is. You ain't coming in the group, you ain't in good with us, none of that. But that was not the right time during her match to address her because you saw that what she did didn't harm Liv, it was helping Liv. So let Liv win, then check that girl right after the match. So that's how Liv felt like. That's why she got in Roxanne's face backstage. But at the same time, it's like, Raquel, you the vet though. So you already know, going to let me handle my business, then we can get up on her ass afterwards. So Liv handled that the way she's supposed to handle it. Her feelings were valid. She addressed who she needed to address, because that's who really caused the whole match. Like, Liv was the confused one. She trying to see, wait, I didn't even see Roxanne help me, but I do see you arguing with her. Why is my best friend arguing with Roxanne? That caused a distraction for me. So yeah, I totally get why she felt that way. It was little Finn Behringer. And I know that's not his name, Finn Balor, but I have a student named Finn Behringer, and I call him Finn Balor sometimes, just being sneaky. Okay, something about some Finns. Finns know they love to be sneaky, but
He was enjoying
Finn
this
Balor in
entire
the
thing.
background, giggling and laughing, knowing that his plan is unfolding. He's doing with Roxanne what he did with Liv. Like
I
he
don't
admitted to Rhea. I'm the one that put Dom on to her and was like, yeah, go ahead for it. He set that whole thing up.
I don't know what he
Look
thinks
at
he's
what he
finna get
doing
out
now.
of this though, because if anything, you finna get put out because everybody don't like
He's
you.
mad. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. He don't mess with Liv. I guess he was looking at it like, okay, Rhea was supposed to be his sister, but he thought that Rhea was taking over too much, blah, blah, whatever. Okay, well, I'm gonna take Dom eyes off of Rhea and put her on to Liv. And I don't know if he thought in the beginning, because Liv was so obsessed with Dom, that was how it was going to
He
stay.
thought he thought he
Her
was gonna
just
control the whole
obsession.
situation, and Liv started,
Yeah, but it turned out that Liv is just like Rhea on her whole, I'm dominant. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go get her. I'm going to get what I need, and I'll make sure my man got the same. Her and Rhea have that same mentality, as far as, we ain't no just sitting back. I'm just cut up with my man. I got business to take care of. So that's what Liv was doing. So he can't stand that. And in the midst of that, Dom, you got the title that I was going for, the Intercontinental. Yeah. So he's just jealous. He's just jealous. Jealous, jealous, jealous. He ain't held a singles title yet. He ain't held it since he had his run as what, the very first Universal Champion. He's only held tag team gold. Dom has held 2 single titles since he's been there. So yeah, I'd be a little jealous too. And he's had multiple bad bitches. Okay,
and
so yeah, I'd be a little jealous too.
yeah, yeah. And I would
What
love
you
to
saying?
use I would love to use that as a segue, but we gotta mention for a minute the Lyra and Becky conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Basically where, ooh, I can't remember what Lyra said, but I know that oh,
Oh,
okay,
that
I remember both of them said. So Becky basically was like, yeah, after we had that match, I went home to my hot husband, and you went back with your weird looking fiance. And then
yeah.
Lyra was like, your hot husband, you mean the only talented thing about you? And yeah, that's about the only thing I remember, because that was the highlight of everything. And
I don't see how that was even a highlight for real, because that was such a lame ass bar.
again,
I mean,
that's the only thing that we can point out that was said, because I don't remember anything else.
oh, I remember everything that Becky was saying, and Becky wasn't lying when she said that she has a weird looking fiance, because he does look weird. Sorry, Lyra, but Lyra looks weird. They're just 2 bird people together. They probably got their house full of birds in the first place. But anywho, to say that that is the only talented thing about Becky, and I'm not even a Becky fan for real, is crazy, because I can't knock what she has done. Lyra, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Becky. She opened a lot of doors, and she's paved the way. She's made her mark. She's done all of that. Her and Seth separately and collectively. So to say that that's the only talented thing about you was like a lame thing to say. Did you not have anything else? Did you think before you said it? Because when she said it, I was just like, when everybody, oh, I said, did y'all really pay attention? Because that's not even that's just dumb. That's like when people kept saying to John Cena, you can't wrestle. Clearly he can if he's a 16, now 17-time champ. So that's just dumb. People just be saying stupid stuff. I would expect it better from Lyra, because she's been cooking lately, but that,
Not everything gonna
tomatoes,
be
tomatoes,
not everything gonna
tomatoes.
be a gold star.
That was a horrible
Sometimes you
start.
got to bunt.
that was like -10 stars, man. That just didn't make any sense to me at all. I was very confused. But I look forward to the lead up in their match or whatever. And to be completely honest, I really feel like Becky's going to take it.
Yeah, probably. I can see that, and then that would give them, fuel for their beef for a minute. Um, After that, we had Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, and Finn Balor triple threat match for the Money in the Bank qualifier. And yeah, this was a good match. This is one I definitely
Mhm.
remember, and I definitely remember the finish. Oh, Dominic, you poor boy. You and I'm not even mad at it because Finn deserves everything that happened to him. Dominic tried to come in with the steel chest, slid it into the ring. Finn was gonna go for it, but then got his head stomped in
Mm.
and lost. And Seth won. So it's like, yeah, you did all this, but then you got your head stomped in. So I'm not really upset. You did all this drama with me, Liv, and Roxanne, and now you got your head stomped in. And you know that's gonna cause further problems.
I'm not gonna lie. Low key wanted Finn to take it. Finn, Seth, who was that person? Who's else in that match?
Sammy.
Fit, Sammy. Yeah, I couldn't do without Sammy. I
Yeah,
really wanted
Sammy
Finn
was
to
gonna
take
take it.
it. Yeah, because I feel like Finn deserves something. Somebody made a post about a week and a half ago, and was running down all the Finn's accolades and everything, and I'm just like, yeah, man, he deserves something. He shouldn't just be an afterthought or just in this tiny little breakup situationship with the Judgment Day and him being a massive manipulator. Finn deserves to have something of his own. Now, if they wanted to keep this going with Finn being the mastermind behind breaking up the Judgment Day and breaking up Liv and the Dom, but at the same time, he holds the Money in the Bank contract. Do you know how diabolical and how much that is to his character? That would have gave his character an even extra boost. Like, man, Finn got the contract, a guaranteed contract to go after the title, and he's still on that. Like, this is personal. Now this is personal. Now it's like he's even more evil or whatnot because he can be. So I would have rather have seen that. Like during the whole match, I was like, yes, please, Finn. Please let Finn win because it was giving, if Finn won, I was thinking of the very first Money in the Bank winner, Edge. It was giving me the mindset of Edge back then when Edge won. And Edge was doing whatever he wanted to do. Whatever he wanted to do at that time, he was doing it because he knew in the end, I can cash this thing in whatever I want to because I hold the Money in the Bank and can't nobody take that from me
Right.
because you couldn't. I don't have to defend this. It's not a title, but it's a title shot and an opportunity, and I'm going to be cunning about it. Like they should have gave it to Finn. I don't understand it.
But
Like
if they did that, that would kill the motion that they're doing with Seth. So, because Seth needs to have
that is
this
okay.
as like a
Stepping
backup plan
stone.
or something that is in the back of everybody's mind before he does what he needs to do. Now, is he gonna win the Money in the Bank? I would say he's in the top people to actually do it.
I put it like this: for as far as winning, he needs to win it. Now that he has it, now like you said, now that he has it, I'm thinking of all the competitors, and I think we have one more qualifying match to see who's going to be the final person for
Yeah.
the Money in the Bank match. And Seth needs to be the one to win it. I mean, because Jacob's not in it. Solo is. Solo's not winning that. I would be cool if he did. I would be all right. But I don't think he is. And like you said, to build the momentum with this newfound super group that Seth has created, he has to win. Because if you don't, it's kind of like, what's the purpose of this? Y'all weak. Like, I mean, you're supposed to be the leader. You've won this thing already. You've cashed in to create the heist of the century. So how you not winning is you a vet when it comes to this. This should be easy to you. You should know the ins and outs of this match. Like that'll solidify him as being, that hunter in this whole scenario and him getting what he's owed like he feels and being the face of the company, because how are you going to be that if you can't even win, you know, matches, big time matches? How are you supposed to be the face? So he needs to most definitely. Um, it just would make sense if he did it. It would definitely make the group just look weak. And if you're trying to build another superstar up and you're with Paul Heyman too,
Let's
we just
okay.
came off of a Paul Heyman tribal chief 4-year high and run where Roman is winning after win after win. You
Right.
can't put Paul Heyman now, this vet, this Hall of Famer, the wise man with Seth Rollins, and Seth ain't bringing no wins in. If he lose this, that's it.
Oh,
It's stupid.
but let's look. Okay, so let's look at everybody that's gonna be in it so far. We
Uh-huh.
got Solo, we got LA Knight, we got Penta, we got Seth Rollins, we got Andrade, and then the last spot is supposed to be between CM Punk, AJ Styles, and El Grande Americano. I think that El Grande Americano absolutely ain't going. AJ
Mm-hmm.
Styles, I could see that Karrion Cross screws him over or some form of fashion if they would just give him the opportunity. So I think the only logical conclusion is CM Punk, unless Seth and them come out and derail the whole thing, and then it's like AJ Styles wins because it's not gonna be El Grande Americano.
CM
Um,
Punk.
yeah, I think he's the only one that can take the spot, or AJ, but it's only if that Seth comes out and screws over CM Punk.
You mean for the qualifier match?
Yeah, the qualifier match because the final spot is between CM Punk, AJ Styles, and El Grande Americano. So they got to whoever wins out of that. I'm saying
Okay.
CM
I
Punk. If
feel you.
CM Punk wins it, that makes the most sense to me. Unless it's AJ, and it's only because Seth came out and screwed over CM Punk. That's the only way that I see that AJ Styles goes. But other than that, it's got to be CM Punk.
Fact. Facts. I see this. And now that you think, yeah, yeah. Sorry, lost train of thought. But
So, so that's what I'm
CM Punk
saying.
needs to win. CM Punk needs to win this. CM Punk needs to win because they're already in this feud together. And then that makes now y'all in the Money in the Bank match. Now, okay, we got to see y'all throw hands, even more with each other because we need to see more interferences as well. It needs to be a big thing. We need it. WWE needs that right now because everything that's going on with Raw, with the release of R-Truth and Carlito, y'all need to give us something big. So
So,
because we still don't know the other person that's involved in this whole situation, which is Roman.
oh
So
yeah,
I don't know if Roman's going to show up at Money in the Bank, costing Seth or almost or whatever. But you can't cost Seth. Seth has to win. He has to win. But CM Punk needs to be in this match because it needs to be a Seth and CM Punk back and forth in it because it's going to add layers to this brewing feud already. I mean, they just came off of the Saturday night's main event with the tag match. So they got to keep this going because the CM Punk is their target. He's one of the targets. He's the person that kind of helped kick off this whole thing. Like CM Punk has really yet to get his hands on Paul Heyman, and it needs to be some more build up within that. And I think that maybe at SummerSlam is when we'll see Roman again, return or something. Because I can see a match. I can see a Seth CM Punk match. Seth is the Money in the Bank holder. This is just a match. Like what, we need to throw some hands. And I can see Roman, returning around this. Although Roman wasn't a big fan of CM Punk, he now sees that you were really never my real enemy for real. Like, and we both have, common enemies right now. It's not Sammy and y'all because it kicked off because of me and you. Sammy's there, but I feel like Sammy right now was that placeholder until Roman gets there. So yeah, we need to see that for sure. It's right now. Now that I think about it, and like you were saying, I feel like Raw was kind of all over the place. There's too many feuds, but then
and
it's like one person has more than one feud. How does Sammy Sammy is feuding right now within this whole Seth Rollins new supergroup thing. But then he's also saying that he wants a world title shot. The same when how is Jay feuding with Logan Paul, but then you got your hands put on you by John Cena, and then you got Seth
and
Rollins
also
trying to come after your title. It's too much. It's
like
just too much at
yeah,
one time.
it's a whole lot, and hopefully they sort it out and have this chaos figured out by the time Money in the Bank is over, because now we got to move
I
into
hope so.
SummerSlam, and SummerSlam is
Think.
literally y'all WrestleMania after WrestleMania. So
Yes, and it
hopefully
needs
that
to
gets
be bigger.
situated. But
It needs to
let's
be bigger.
it does, and it needs to have a satisfying conclusion. Considering y'all got 2 nights now, it has to have a satisfying conclusion on night 1 and night 2. So I guess that's why they have all these different
Exactly.
things going. So that makes sense. But let's also talk about Roman for a minute. The fact that Roman, or the fact that they keep doing this, Liv won the title at lost. Yeah, she lost the title at WrestleMania. Won it the next
Yeah,
night
huh?
on Raw. Then went to go shoot a movie for 2 months. Roman right now is apparently shooting a movie. Why would you have him start this feud with Seth Rollins and them, and then have him let him go shoot a movie? Have him do the damn feud first. That's why I keep saying Raw don't know what they're doing.
This is just a perfect opening right now. I'm just waiting for like the job position to open up because you're right. It's just all over the place. And you guys are
and it's
taking
a
like your biggest stars. How are you taking one of the top? And it makes no sense to me. You took one of the top stars in the women's division, Liv Morgan, shoot a movie. You took one of the top star of the company, Roman, who just dealt with one of the most devastating losses in losing the wise man and everything that came with that. We see the man once after WrestleMania, and that's it. Like the
but
stare down between him and Punk and what they were doing, I'm thinking, okay, that they're like without
we
words
finna get
saying
Roman for at
we
least a good couple of months. Like he ain't if he got to be consistent a little bit. Cool, we get him for a couple of months, but no, we literally get that one time and then nothing. But I want to say that it's in
think about the
line.
time before we seen Roman. We saw Roman at Netflix's debut, gets the Ula Fala. Boom. January 6th. Did not see him again until Royal Rumble. Okay, cool. After Royal Rumble, did not see him again until like the contract signings and stuff that were going on. No. We started seeing him a little bit more because after the Royal Rumble and he got out of there. Okay, we saw him again during CM Punk and Seth Rollins' cage match from where he
Right,
returned.
right.
Then that's when we saw the contract sign and everything like that. But it's like to get off of WrestleMania high, it's not like Roman lost the title. We get last year why he had to go because there was such a big thing later now with the whole solo build up. And that
Yeah,
was cool.
yeah.
But now there's no reason
This
why
is
he
prime
should be
time for
not
him to be
there.
here.
We don't need to see Sammy. Sammy's not a part of this. And even if Sammy
And
played
even
that first,
they weave Sammy in seamlessly. I will give them that, because Sammy being here, like, and Seth starting off with, I want you to leave because I'm about to do some
yeah,
heinous stuff. So they weaved him in perfectly.
it
But
was
we
perfect
know what it is.
Because Sammy being the first victim, and then Sammy also having ties to the bloodline and being, the honorary ooze and all those type of things. We thought that was going to spark Roman. Like, you didn't put hands on Sammy. All right, now I'm about to come at you. Then we thought, okay, he didn't put hands on Jay. Now what? And it's like, bro, where the heck is Roman? What is this? Like,
And
it's like, if you really think about it, Oz, I really feel like they don't know what the heck to do. Like
and
legit,
let me say
because
this.
they went through such a huge thing with last year with Roman, and for the past 4 years was such a high when he was there that when he left and the solo thing happened, that was perfect timing. But now that that's gone, it's like, what do we do now?
Let me say this. Like I said, they don't know. They feel like they don't know what they're doing. But I've also noticed this. Every time that they have signed, every time there is a show that is signed with a major broadcast, they always somehow neuter themselves. When it was SmackDown on Fox, always neutered themselves, because remember when I told you when I started back watching a year or two ago,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like Raw was the A show. Everything was happening on Raw. Everything was fire on Raw. Everything was like firing on all cylinders. SmackDown, I was like, but now, right now, it's completely flipped. SmackDown is on USA and it is hitting on all cylinders consistently. But it's on Netflix, which is the bigger brand, which is giving which literally should have given them more freedom that they're not using.
Thank you. That's what I don't
And
understand.
and it is completely and utterly neutered itself and is consistently bogged down with all of these brand ads and stuff that is on the
Yeah,
ring, and then all of these commercials. So it's like they're neutering themselves every time they get a big brand deal. But USA, they let them just go however they gonna go, and
I don't.
it's
I don't.
confusing as hell.
It's confusing. I don't get it. Like you said, they're on such a bigger brand. They're on Netflix where they should have more free range to do whatever it is they want to do that they couldn't do while they were on live television. Even the hours. Why are you guys cut short? But SmackDown is still going to be 3 hours. Even with cutting so when the fans chant certain things, you're on Netflix. You can say whatever the heck you want to say.
They're
I don't
literally neutering
understand it.
themselves. I don't
I
understand.
don't I don't understand it. It's so many questions. Like I just don't. It's just not making sense. Like they need to show this. And I don't know if they're going to showcase some of this stuff when they come out with the segment for where they're going behind the scenes and they're showing us what's going on, and it's going to appear on Netflix this summer with WWE. I forget what it's called, but Triple H was saying, pulling back the curtain and everything. Because give me some insight. Because I don't really understand why you guys are being so timid when it comes to certain things. We're thinking as soon as they go to Netflix, yes, fine, free range. We're gonna get out of this PG era crap. We're about to take it, to back in the day or whatnot and get a little more raw. But no,
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 not
it
not not
has
at all.
lost its edge. They have lost its edge. Now, I don't want to say that SmackDown was completely, a miss because you said you got back in it, a few years back because Roman was the champ during that
But
time.
I'm saying still with when it was still on Fox, when SmackDown was on Fox, I was still like, okay,
Oh
this
no,
don't
it was
this
still
this
lit
don't
to
it
me.
didn't feel like it don't feel like it had the edge that it has now.
It okay. It had edge. It definitely did. It was still lit to me. But I get what you're saying. It was more so, and maybe because it was just him. Because I don't want to say it didn't, because I know that I would always get excited to see Roman, what the
That's
bloodline
it.
was doing. Yeah, so I think it was. But my thing is this though. But I still feel that way. If Roman was there consistently, even now, I would still feel that way. Like, okay, Roman showed up at the end of the night. I can't wait to see him. Like, so I don't know if that has something to do with Roman or because I still love the show. Like, yeah, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with
Yeah,
Raw. Like, they need to speed this whole Seth Rollins things up. If this is going to be what's going to save Raw, then they need to speed it up with
cause it ain't
their
being
dominance
saved. This the motherfucker.
and
This
what's
this
and
is
what's
drowning.
happening. Because I'm not gonna lie, some of the promos that have been being cut are lame. Seth took forever to say something on Raw. He came out, they chanted his music, singing his songs, singing his praises. Okay, cool. Now he gets on the microphone and now y'all want to boo. The fans are confusing. I'm a boo 100%. Do you know when Seth came out? And I love me some Seth Rollins. I wasn't even singing his song. That was the first time I never not sung his song because I'm still upset over Paul being with him. It just don't look right. It don't feel right, and I ain't rocking with it. So no, be consistent, fans. Y'all go boo then boo. Y'all want to cheer for him and sing the song, then y'all want to boo. Shut up.
And Paul Heyman even
So
pointed that out.
like, if they don't know what they want, they confused, man. They crazy. They are crazy. This is why John Cena said he's sick of they wishy washy asses. He's done.
That's
I
fair.
don't blame him. I don't blame him. And he's right. The same what Becky was saying. Like, I get the frustration because it's like y'all need to be consistent. It used to be so black and white. Now everything is so transparent. It's just like, okay, I still love them, but I hate them. But I love them, but shut up.
And you know what's also wild about that? Bianca opened up SmackDown, and for weeks she had been getting booed by everybody for no reason. But
No
she's
reason.
she's in her hometown, so maybe that's it. But she got overwhelming cheers this time.
Yeah. Overwhelming. My
Overwhelming
thing
cheers.
is but my thing is I feel like, and it's not to talk about people, but look at where Bianca was when she was getting booed.
Okay, we can say yes in Europe, but that translated all the way over when we came back to the States.
Even when it happened in Vegas, I think that people were just getting off of the whole because you know what? for some reason, WWE fans hate to see greatness. They like to see greatness when it first kicks off, but when it's already settled and now it's just in this person where you know that they're just great, they like to boo. They did it with John Cena. They've done it with Bianca. They've done it in the past. Like I don't get it. Like why they're like that, especially because Bianca never gave a reason for them to do that. Maybe she needs a little bit rebranding. Maybe they're tired of the whole,
It's time for
you
her
know,
to be a heel.
it's time for her to be a heel, and I don't know. I think that it's time for her to get a new song.
That's
I
it.
think it is, time for the whole. I love her song, but you got to think about it. I was over the whole glow. But now that Naomi has transformed herself, it is amazing to see how versatile she is. We know Bianca could be a heel, but we have been listening to the same exact song from Bianca since NXT.
That's true.
It's time
So yeah,
for a new
it's time
song.
for
It's
some. It's
time
time to
for a new.
rebrand a little bit. Like you can be the EST of WWE, but you can be
Yes,
evil.
yes, because even if she's not evil, just a little more rebranding or whatnot. It's kind of like it's the same. You coming down, skipping to the ring with your braid, and that's nice. And we know your braid is your signature thing. But Bianca, you can switch it up some days. And I'm glad that she's doing that. I'm glad that she taps into the different looks, and she's always going to hit when it comes to the look. But it definitely needs to be some more edge coming her way. And I honestly believe that's what's going to happen, especially after seeing the promo that she cut talking about her injury. And seeing her the last few parts in the segment this past Friday was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, because
Because
when she came out and when she came out to have the conversation with the fans in her hometown, and Naomi decided that she was gonna come out and be like,
well, do we want to
I
talk about this yet, or you want to wait?
yes, we are. Look, you got to pay attention to when I'm trying to slide stuff in. We was done with Raw. You got to pay attention to when I'm sliding in. I slid
I
in
thought
perfectly.
you did slide in perfectly. You slide in perfectly. Here I go, the mom from the stands coming out into the field. Wait, wait.
Slid in perfectly. So Naomi and Bianca had a conversation, and Naomi has gone full on psychotic, and she's like, I called you, I texted you, I just want to talk to you. And Bianca's like, I ain't trying to have that. And 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 then she was like, I went to your family's house, I looked in your album, and Bianca was like, yeah, we not finna do this. If you come near my family again, I'm gonna beat your ass. And she cussed. She definitely cussed in that whole
Yeah.
promo, but we couldn't hear it obviously. And then Naomi said the wildest thing. She's like, it'd be real crazy if you and your mama was in a wheelchair. And I know, people, will feel some type of way about it, but Bianca's mama was laughing the entire time. So she obviously ain't feel a way about it.
Well, clearly, because we know deep down backstage they are best friends, and pretty sure Naomi been over to their house a million times. But it was just when she said that. When I say Mike drop, my mouth was like, Naomi.
So you,
Why would you say that? I think Bianca was even because you can't really practice promos. You just got to feed off of each other and feel and go back and forth. And I think that's why certain times certain people break character, especially was like, I know you was gonna say that. Like, and it's like crazy, but when she said that, it's like, girl. And then you go laugh your evil laughter about it. Like, and then when Bianca got in her face, like, and she started talking like this, with between her teeth.
and she
Yeah,
cussed.
she was on that. Girl, you said what about my mama? You felt like you back up in grammar school. What you said about my mama? Now we gotta throw hands. Now we gotta throw hands. And it was perfect. It was perfect timing. And my girl came out looking as gorgeous as she always does.
Now, okay, we obviously we talking about Jade. But before we get into that in the match, I feel like this would be the perfect opportunity for Bianca to start her rebrand because I don't understand why her and Jay got beef. And it feels like they got beef because when they crossed each other, it didn't feel like they was happy to see each other. It was more like a okay.
You don't know why they got beef?
Why do they have beef? It ain't like she
Oh,
threw up.
let's get into it. Okay, cool. So after the whole segment happened, a fan had wrote on Twitter to Jade asking, Like, okay, well, you know that Bianca wasn't the one that did it and everything. Like, so your beef shouldn't be with her. Now your questions are answered. Jay looked at it like, I know that she did it, but it was at a time that Jay felt like she had something to do with it because she wasn't reaching out to Jade, my friend, my tag team partner. Once Naomi got the title, you just forgot about me. I didn't hear from you at all. You didn't check on me. You didn't. So she believed they worked together because Bianca didn't check in with her to see she cool, but I see you on TV saying you need to find out who did it to Jay. But she's thinking just how she see Naomi doing it, and she knew Naomi was the one the whole time. She's seeing her on TV. She's thinking Bianca is acting just like Naomi was acting. So because Bianca even wrote back or whatnot, was like, yeah, like you could see I had because I had nothing to do with it, but. Jade's words was, I didn't trust her ass either. That's exactly what you said. I did not trust her ass either. Like I thought that she was a part of it, and they had a little back and forth in it. As far as like a war of words with each other. Bianca was a little confused as to why she's upset and everything, and I understand why Jade feels the way she feels because what I saw when she came out there and they looked at each other, I saw two sisters or two besties still love each other because Jade could have put hands on her, Bianca put hands on whatever the case, but so much has happened and it's kind of like there hasn't been an apology. Bianca has yet to, and she should have apologized to Jade for not reaching out. If you're trying to avenge me and you're so adamant about looking and to find out who attacked me, but you haven't even spoken to me, and I'm supposed to be your sister, your best friend, your tag team partner, but you gonna take our belts and team with the person that attacked me in the first place. So I can
That makes
understand
sense.
why she felt the way she felt in regards to that. It's just been words that have not been spoken because even when Bianca first found out that Jade was the person that did it, and she cussed Jade out and she left the ring, and her and Naomi and Bianca and Jade met on the ramp, and they like looked at each other, and Bianca just was like, put her hand out, like go handle your business or whatnot. She just put her head down. It's still love there, but it's still the whole Jade feeling like you weren't there for me. You left me to be by myself while you on TV matching outfits with somebody else. Defending the titles with somebody else. Like you left
And
me twisted in the wind. So I understand why Jade feels the way she feels. Like even though Bianca has put out there that she ain't rocking with Naomi at all because of what she did to Jade.
and this is what I'm saying that this would be the perfect time for her to rebrand herself because Naomi has rebranded herself and done wonderfully. Um, if Jade gets a big opportunity
Mm-hmm.
against Bianca, right, and Bianca loses, and Naomi
Mm-hmm.
comes out, and this could be like months down the line, and Naomi comes out and she's like, "See, I told you that this is how exactly she is," and then Bianca's like, "You know what? You're right," and then that's the whole door open for Bianca to change herself.
Hmm. I don't
It's
know.
a shot.
It's a shot, but the only reason why I have an issue with it is because I don't want to see Naomi and Bianca reconcile and be on the same side. What I want to see is Naomi and Naya do it because even
Yes.
when they had their qualifying match on Friday, and I think uh Nia
Yeah.
Jax pushed um Naomi or whatever,
She was like, "We supposed to be working
and
together."
Naomi was like, "Oh, we was on the same side." And then Nia was, "Hi, yeah, yeah." Like I want to see them. Yeah, we supposed to be working together. Like I want them to be together. I really think that they could do great work as a tag team and be dominant because Nia with the partner is great. I love how she works with the divas or whatnot. Like we've seen it happen with Tiffy. We've seen it with Candice LeRae. Let's see it with her own family. Like let's see it with them, and I guarantee they're gonna cook. They're gonna bring something different to the table because they both got it like one hundred
And the thing
percent.
is,
And I think
and
that
I don't know why they keep playing with us. Like, what are you holding back
they go
for?
because we have to give Naomi room to still build this, her new character. Proceed with caution. We need to give that some room to continue to grow, to continue to build up momentum and everything. And she's been doing that all across the board. I'm seeing the signs in the crowds. I know they want to see more of that, more fan involvement with that before they drop that big bomb on us with those two.
What if they do it at SummerSlam?
And possibly, the Tonga, the twins. Hopefully they get up in that too.
What if they do it at SummerSlam? That would be something huge to see.
I'll be good with that. I would be good with that.
So
I would be good with that.
speaking of, that whole match, we know that Naomi ended up winning, and it was a hell of a. I wasn't expecting. I was expecting Nia to win after she did the Annihilator on both of them, but it ended up Naomi moved out the way at the last.
Yeah, I expected that too.
So I was like,
that was shocked
okay.
To see. That was shocked to see that.
And I called it the first time that like they stacked both of them up, and then something happened, and then they ended up moving or got hurt. I called it the first time, but then the second time I'm like, okay, Nia just got it, but no, Naomi rolled up, and I was like, that's a beautiful way to do it. So that was cool. And then R-Truth had the funniest moment of the night where he talked to Solo and was like, "Is this your son?"
Please, don't make me stomach hurt.
He said, "Is this your son? Let me take him to the ring and teach him a lesson." Like, dang, y'all big bone. Like,
then he called the boy Husky. That boy Husky.
Oh, this man is a national treasure. Y'all have completely and utterly messed up by what y'all decided to do with him. But the match itself again was good, which is also surprising why they're doing what they're doing. JC Mateo went over and he won. After the match, Jimmy came out to save R-Truth from a beatdown. And yeah. And then after that, I want to say the Street Profits came out to have a conversation, and then all the other teams came out. DIY came out. Motor City Machine Guns came out.
I just thought of something.
What? Is it R-Truth or are you talking about the tag team?
R-Truth. That's why he told him we family. Who was R-Truth's imaginary friend?
Legit. But that's Big Jim.
Don't matter. He's Jimmy's friend. So to him, when he's talking, whether he's there or not, I don't know if he's picturing Jimmy and why he kept saying, we family. Yeah, we family. Like it's like that. Like this Jimmy. Do you see how genius he is? Oh, God.
But talking about the tag team, it was DIY. It was Street Profits. It was Fraxium. DIY Fraxium. Motor City Machine Guns. So they were all talking.
Yep.
And talking about how we deserve a shot. We deserve a shot. And then DIY came out, and you know what? This is why I love Tommaso Ciampa, and I would like to bring him into the black delegation because he had black senses in this whole situation. Because when they was talking, they were like, "We are not about to bring up the Wyatt Six to bring them out here." He was the only one like, "Hey, we not talking about them. Hey, be quiet. We're not talking about them. We talking about us right now. We talking about everybody in here." And the minute that happened, the lights went out. Because he was like, let's have a moment of silence for the tag team division because all of y'all have messed it up. So they had a moment of silence. The YX6 comes out and they destroy everybody.
Everybody in sight. They own that. And they coming from them titles. Guarantee it. Like, at first I thought it was just, I think they're over the whole attacking people that they feel like has done wrong to others. Like, now they're like, we coming for what's ours. We're here. And we coming to take them titles. Like, y'all want to argue and bicker with each other. Don't forget about us. Like, it's that whole thing. And, I'm here for it. I love it.
But that's the thing about it. I don't know. That was the whole problem with them to show up to begin with. Because you're dressed as the different personas of Bray Wyatt. Cool. I like that if it was like a TV show and that was a thing. But y'all are wrestling. Y'all have to go out and have matches. Y'all have to go out and win titles and championships. how does this translate to you still being supernatural beings? Because I don't see how it works now. You
What do
have
you
to be
mean?
people. Exactly what I said.
They are people.
Like they're people, but you're also supposedly the machinations of Bray Wyatt.
Okay, so you saying that because they're that they can't be champ? Bray was the universal champion. What are you saying?
That's different
No, it's not.
because
It's the Fiend was the champ, not Bray Wyatt. He is still a character that Bray created. So just like them, there's still these characters, just like how Alexa Bliss was. She was still a character, but was still a champion. So you can still be that. You can say, let's take it all the way back to mythical creatures with these supernatural powers. The Undertaker. Let's be
that
for
all, but
real.
that I don't know why, but that feels different to me than them because it feels
Does it
like
feel different because you actually saw when they were first brought on the scene by the Fiend, by Bray, there were dolls?
to a degree. So like, okay, let me put it
But
like this.
that's what makes it even more. I like that because we know when we used to see these dolls in the funhouse, and we know the characters behind them, duh, but we like the people behind the character. But now we've seen these actual characters come to light and they're actually out here wrestling. It feels like they are like fulfilling a duty from the underworld or something because of the Fiend. Like he's
And it
gone, Uncle Howdy's here. We
and
got to
it's
get out
all
here and get on business.
and it's only if they can maintain that whole supernatural feeling because I don't want it to be like after a certain time, like they just getting their ass beat. Like I need this to feel like they're consistently being
Oh
put
yeah,
in a
oh
monster
yeah.
type film. That's my only worry about it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to express. That
Okay,
at a certain point, y'all just gonna make them look like, oh, these just people. They're just human. Like no, if you're gonna make them supernatural, make sure they keep that air of supernatural to them.
I feel
That's the
that
only thing I'm
because look
worried
at how they
about.
came. Look at how they were brought to us. They were brought to us with everybody in the back. All the lights went out. The light fixtures is down in the back. Chad Gable busted open. We didn't know what was going on. We just see Uncle Howdy, but then to see the other characters was like, we've seen Uncle Howdy before, but now we see them and it's like, dang, what is happening? And then the way Nikki would come out every week and put that tape there, it was like, what is going on right now? So I get that. They need to keep that momentum up.
Yeah,
And they
that's the only
will,
thing I'm
and
worried
because
about.
they have to. They
Because
owe that to Bray. They owe that to Bray. They have to.
right, because that's what I'm saying. Like if you have them consistently there, right? Because when they would just
Yeah.
show up and just mess up people who, were doing wrong, that makes it more like this is supernatural, this is more, this ain't normal. But like if you're gonna have them on consistently, it's like, are they going to lose that magic? That's what I'm pointing out.
I feel that. I feel that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So after that, we had Los Garza and Ray Phoenix and Javon Evans. And
Yep.
I am absolutely stunned that Javon Evans has gotten on SmackDown as quickly as he has. Because one, that boy is phenomenal. That boy is incredible.
He's on SmackDown. He wasn't
Well,
just having a match.
I don't know if he's on SmackDown, but like normally, but you see how like when they bring them up to do certain things that they're eventually going to move them there because they did it with Fraxium, they did it with Roxanne and Julia, they're doing it with Stephanie. So like it's clear that they're looking to move him up in some way, shape, form, or fashion because otherwise he wouldn't be there. So if this is like his tryout to get into SmackDown, he did a hell of
Mm-hmm.
a job. One, and if he is going to be on SmackDown, and this is relatively quick for him because he's only been in NXT for about a year. Because I saw him when he debuted.
Yeah.
Um, Congratulations to him because he definitely earned it and definitely deserves it because he is that damn good. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and this whole match got messed up because of Ethan Page
It,
and this is what I was saying when we have villains that that you love to hate.
I
I
like
hate
him.
this man. I hate
I
him.
love him. I
I
love him.
hate him, but he's such
I
a
like
good
him
villain.
because he's an a-hole. Like he's an ass. And I love that. Because I love that smile. I love his evilness. Like Ethan is a mug. I loved him as soon as he came on the scene. I'm like, I like this guy. Like, yeah, I like his character. I love the stuff that he did with Trick, all of that. So I wasn't I wasn't a huge fan of Javon in the beginning. I saw I saw that he was anxious. I saw that he had potential, but I used to feel like you need to slow down. He's a high flyer. He's quick, but it was more certain things didn't look so sharp or
Yeah,
crisp. And that
but
he's
that
rookie. He's only 20.
he's yeah.
He's 20, so I get it. But after paying attention a little more to him and seeing the growth and how quickly he's developed,
Yeah,
I
because
rock with him. I like
That match with Randy highlighted all of the stuff that was wrong
it.
because
Did
he
it really
fumbled one of the either
RKO?
his cutter or RKO. It was one of the other, but he fumbled it, and
It was the
Randy was
RKO.
like,
He
"You good?"
fumbled it.
Yeah. So, but Randy was like, "You good, kid? You good?" And after that, everything he did after that, he ain't missed. He ain't missed.
Because I guarantee him and Randy you had a match with him. I guarantee you had from Randy, from the other, vets in the company. You've had, those motivational speeches.
And that's the other
We don't
thing.
know stuff behind the scene. If
And
we've seen, you don't know. We don't know what's going behind the scene. Randy could have been working with him. You
that's
never know.
literally the other
But
thing that I'm saying. Like Javon clearly is blessed by something because you had a match with Randy Orton as a
yeah,
rookie on NXT. Boy,
as a rookie on NXT, Randy doesn't need to go to NXT to have a match. Paying attention to you to have a match with you is amazing, and just seeing him being able to keep up, like he was really down on himself, but I'm glad that Randy was that type to pick his head up to be like, hey man, you did good, you hung in there with one of the greatest of all time, like come on man,
so
that's cold.
him moving up to the main roster, absolutely. And I pray that any injury that tries to come near him does not, because that boy got it. That boy is going. That boy is the future of the WWE. I don't care what nobody says.
Mm-hmm.
He's the future of the WWE. But Ethan Page is a hater, and he messed up their match, and Los Garza wins. Um, After that, it was a
I'm
little bit.
glad that Los Garza won, though. I'm not even gonna
Oh,
lie,
they needed
because
to. They need to because they
because
haven't had one.
because because Santos been getting on. It's not Joaquin. Who is it? He been getting on. No, not Joaquin. That's not his group. I think he's in
Joaquin.
LWO.
Yeah.
Joaquin
He be
Wild.
getting on
Is that
Berto.
him that he been getting on?
He be getting on Berto.
Berto. That's who he been getting on. Joaquin Wild. Is he in the group or he's in LWO?
He's in LWO.
Okay. So yeah, so Berto he been getting on. And now it's like it made me feel a little better because I'm like, okay, then they won the match now. Like he can get off his back a little bit. Like they won. But yeah.
Then after that, it was Lena Vega, your favorite, versus Alpha Fire, and
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't you ever dare put that in the same sentence ever again. Have to sit there and listen to the theme song in the middle of the show. Like what?
and
This
she ended up winning after Chelsea took off her mask and hit Piper with it. Um, and I'm going to say this again. I love Zelina. I was hoping that she would win the title at some point. However, give Chelsea back that damn title after her nose is healed because
please.
Chelsea has made breaking her nose into something. Like, bro, what are we doing? How do you make breaking your nose into a usable form of content? Chelsea can do no wrong.
Well, shout out to the veteran.
Cody Rhodes. He did that too. Oh, he got
no.
in the face. What?
Please. Ain't nobody talk about dashing Cody Rhodes. Talk out the vet, the woman that set that trend and that started that off. Trish Stratus. Okay, thank you, Trish. Thank you, Trish. Because during her heel turn and her feud that she had with Lita, when Lita broke her nose, this was shortly after Lita's marriage to Kane. Trish tormented her for a while. Lita was on injury. She got healed. She had a match against Trish for the title. Lita didn't give a damn about that title. She wanted to break Trish's face, and that's exactly what she did. Trish really did hit her nose on the steel steps. That wasn't supposed to happen so bad because when she cracked it, blood was gushing from that baby's nose, and she just kept screaming out, "My nose, my nose, my nose!" Like, yeah, her nose was messed up. But when she came back, she had to wear that mask, and there was that whole segment like, "Oh, don't look at me like, look at what she did. I'm hideous. This shouldn't be happening." And then she would take it off sometimes in matches and back out. So yeah, shout out to her for that. Thank you, Trish. You know,
So
gotta ignore Trish.
yeah, Zelina hit her code red. She won the match. It was done.
Yep, shouldn't have been, but you know, that's just me. I don't understand why Zelina was even. I don't know. Like, like you said, give Chelsea the title back. Give it back to her now. Give it back to her. And one thing I am upset about is that this week our boy wasn't in the match.
Who?
I've been on the Alistair Black high lately. So y'all gonna give us Zelina and Alistair, huh? Oh, nobody asked for that. The only reason I was interested in the Zelina thing is because I knew that I would see Chelsea.
Honestly, yeah. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, it was a low point of the night for me because Damian Priest came out to talk to Jake, talk about wanting to fight Jacob Fatu, and I'm tired of him. Why are you out here? You so now we
Oh
Damian,
yeah, your favorite wrestler.
because why? Why are you out here? Why are you
Making
stealing? Why are you stealing Drew's whole flow, word for word, bar for bar? This is everything that Drew said before he had his. I'm assuming he had an injury and that's why he's not coming back for a minute. But everything that Drew said, you're saying now. You're literally everything that Drew said you were. You're trying to be him.
Word for word and bar for bar is crazy. Okay, Soldier Boy. That had me crying in my head. But yeah, I feel that way too. And you know, I never really had too much of an issue with Damien. I loved his work and the Judgment Day. I even loved his earlier work that he did with Drew and the whole feud, but I'm over it at this point. And like you said, now you're setting your sights on Jacob. Like,
Once you just
what?
the world champion, why
Who
are
are
you
you?
going after Jacob?
Who are you? Who are you supposed to be? Are you trying to be? I feel like you're trying to be a mixture of Drew and Braun Strowman at the same time. It's like, whoa, let me go ahead and take their spot or whatnot. Like, I don't, Damien, go sit down somewhere. I think Damien needs to take a little hiatus, a little time off too, because I don't even get excited when he comes out. Like,
I've never.
I really couldn't even get with, I'm not even gonna lie to you, the Judgment Day's original theme song. I rock with it. I listen to it on a daily. Okay, I mess with it. It's just something about that song. I love listening to it on my way home. Love it. However, when Damien won the title and he got his own theme song, oh, Rise for the Outlaw, I was like, go back to the original theme song. I wasn't rocking with it. Then oh, Rise. And he's like, for the bad guys. You gotta chill. First, you're supposed to be Undertaker. Now I get that you got the Razor's Edge. Okay, but come on, you're not the bad guy. That is forever will be Scott Hall. May he rest in peace. Stop. Just stop. Stop.
I don't
And
know
then
who likes
they keep
you.
calling this man the Street King. And
That
then
is an
Damien
insult.
brought it up. Then he brought it up during his promo of saying, you know, when he used to be in the streets. What used to happen?
That's not a compliment. It's
Bro,
not.
because my thing is, you weren't in the streets gang banging and hustling and stuff.
You
You in the
wasn't.
streets because you was homeless. I wouldn't want to ever bring that up. I don't want people to even remember that.
That's not, like I keep saying, it's not a compliment. That's an insult. Sure, it's a difficult way to live, and depending on what you were doing while you were homeless, it could have been, you were doing, some dirt, and that could have, hardened you and made you gritty. That, if you played on that aspect, okay, cool. But you're not. You just said you was homeless, and that was it. You was just on the street. That's not a compliment. Calling you the street kid is a compliment.
He never said that he was homeless and he ended up turning to a life of, gang or anything like that caused him to be, like you said, hard and stuff like that. We get that, can respect that. Okay, cool. He had no choice. You was out here trying to, bro.
And even being homeless, yes, that is a difficult thing to, deal with.
That is
not on the same level of like what you're trying to make it be. That's not the same.
We're not taking anything. We're not taking anything away from the struggle of people that are homeless, nor are we being unsensitive to that fact, because we're not.
Yeah.
However, it's just the like you said, the way he's trying to take that angle, it ain't working, and it don't make sense.
Because when he first used it and tried to go up against Jacob with it, that's not the same. Jacob was in the
Jacob's from the
streets.
streets.
Jacob was in the
Jacob was
streets. You was
legit.
on the streets. There's a difference.
Say it again.
Jacob was in the streets. You were on the streets. There's a difference.
There's a difference. And from people who grew up in the hood, we know this, that there's a big difference. So whatever way that Wade Barrett is always calling him the street king, I'm gonna need you to stop, Wade, because you don't know what you're saying. That's embarrassing. That's not the credibility you think that it's given, because it's not. That's not the type of, accolade, or not even an accolade, but that's not what you want to stand on. He was homeless. Homeless.
And that build that does, and I'm assuming, and I'm sure that builds a little bit of grit, or not even a little bit. That builds some grit to you. That builds a hardness in you that you don't have what you need, so you got to survive however you need to survive. But again, and you're not playing it from that angle. You're just playing it from on the streets. Yeah.
You know what?
And everything about you irritates me as a character.
You know what I'm feeling right now as you're saying this? I'm just picturing us like in a boardroom or something. And I can see us like having him in like, look, man, we got to talk to you about your character work. And I'm trying to, just bring it in, not let him down gently. But you're the frustrated partner that's like, you know what? I'm sick of this. This is not what it is. What are we going to do from here? We need to do some rebranding. We finna go to this whiteboard and we finna figure some stuff out, because I don't know what this is, because this ain't it. This ain't it. I can't then for him to say, he always gonna be, what'd he say? El Campeon? No.
Damn, you can't be El Campeon with no Campeon.
Go in the corner. Go in that corner right behind you. Go in
You can't be El Campeon with no championship.
That is true. That is true. And I'm not going to lie. I did say that in my head when he said that, like, but you're not the champ, though. But okay, I get what you're saying. But then I don't get what you're saying, because you're saying you're forever going to be that, like, you were one of the greatest world heavyweight champions.
And you wasn't. You was a transitional champion, and we all know it.
You're not, but you know what? And the thing is, I was cool with it because I felt like Damian has gone through a lot. He has overcome so many obstacles from his personal life to his professional life. So I was cool when Damian became champ. When that music hit, when CM Punk knocked Drew down and I heard that music and he ran out, I was like, yes, cash in on that man. I was so excited for him. I was happy the next night on Raw that he was champ. I was cool this time that he was champ. I wish, honestly, that his reign could have been longer, because Damian can talk on the mic. He can
when
fight.
He gets comfortable, absolutely, he can.
Yes,
now it feels like he's comfortable. But beforehand, he wasn't. And that was
yeah, for sure. And I really feel like during the time, even when Rio was out, and it was before he left Judgment Day, and Liv was coming into the fold, the stuff that he was doing with Dom was even funny, because it was like when Dom said, "Man, you're becoming more like my dad," for Damian to say, "You know what? No, I'm starting to understand your dad more and more." That's when I knew that he was getting ready to leave, because Rey Mysterio was always an enemy to the Judgment Day. And for Damian to say that, it was like a whole, okay, I'm seeing things from the perspective now. Like, he was kind of in big brother dad mode. Like, no, man, like, you wrong. Like, period. Like, so I was, like I said, I liked him. I even liked Damian before he got with the Judgment Day, when he was a little smaller, back when he was the United States champion. Like, I was, Damian was cool, but I could tell that he wasn't happy, because after watching the documentary that came out last year involving him, it's really good. I do encourage everybody to go and watch it. It's really, really good. It really gives you an insight on what was going on with him. And that's why I said the whole street thing. It's so many ways they could take this. And you said it perfectly by saying that the angle that they can take it, as far as you being out on the street, caused you to have grit, caused you to be upset, caused you to be hardened a little bit, and to be selfish because you ain't really had and been at the level that you at, because you never had nothing. So now that I got it, I ain't letting go of it. That whole angle, because it's not a gimmick. This is the truth. You were homeless. Channel that personal emotion into your character. And I would be 100% cool with that. But because I really felt like that was a rough time for Damian, and And he never channeled it because maybe that's a rough thing to face. You know what I'm saying? I never know. We don't know what type of demons he had to go through to get to where he is. But I know that he wasn't happy in his early years, nor was he happy even when he got signed by WWE and became United States champ. Damian was still smiling. Damian. He became more himself when he was getting involved with the Judgment Day and he was under the tutelage of Edge, because now you have a mentor that's helping you along the way, that's probably experienced, certain situations like you have. I mean, there was a time that Edge said that I believe it was just him and his mom, and they lost their place, and they did all that, and that's why Edge fought hard to get to the WWE to be able to take care of her and all of that. So they related in that way, but Damian just needs some reflection time. I'll be completely okay with him stepping away and really reflecting on what's your next chapter, because after the Judgment Day was done, after the feud now, even with Drew, entertaining, yes, I'm just over it. And now I want to see him, tap into something else. I feel like they're pushing him too fast. You're going You're going after Jacob. It just doesn't make sense because Jacob has enough on his plate dealing with Solo. And I know they don't want us to solely focus on Jacob Solo button heads, because they're still family. They're still in this group. It's still so much to build. So I think Damian is oh my God. Now that I just thought about it, I don't like that. What did you say? Transitional champion? I feel like in a way that's what they're even doing with this. They know that the biggest picture and outcome is Solo and Jacob. But let's throw Damian in there as a little wrench or placeholder right now, and just a distraction. I'll say that as a distraction to y'all have y'all feel, while we still have to have the build up. And that's, that happens with certain stars. You get thrown into that type of position where you're that little distraction to the main story. But Damian, you were a part of the main story at some point, and you need to get back to that, because you were the world heavyweight champion, and now you're literally going to the back of the line. You're not even in the forefront anymore. But that happens. It happens. We see it happening with Finn Balor. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. These are stars, and that's why I wasn't trying to get too upset when seeing them on TV, because they don't really get those main spot opportunities. But it's time for Damian to have a little character rebranding. I would like to see him be a little edgier, because he's better as a heel. He works well as a heel.
And honestly, that's what he should have been when he came to SmackDown. And immediately went to Cody and being like, yeah, run me that title. Mm-hmm. Because you went from El Campeon with the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
And now you finna go fight Jacob. If you don't go after Cody, but then obviously John, had to have his whole moment.
Why is he going after Cody? Cody not the champ.
But I'm saying go after Cody when Cody was the champ. That's what I'm saying. When he got to SmackDown.
Well, you said go after. You broke up. What did you say?
I said he should have went after Cody when Cody had the title.
No, not at that time, because him and Drew still were cooking, and it was still some stuff going on there. Cody had the title up until WrestleMania, and before then, that was Cody had a lot on his plate too.
Man. I was just saying, to your point of you went from El Campeon, the World Heavyweight Champion, to now you in the back of the line, and now you going for the United States title. Okay, but even with all that, speaking of the United States champion, Jacob Fatu, Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade had their match.
And what a match it was!
There was a bunch of people running in. There was a bunch of carnage. Jacob then went through the barrier.
It was a great match. Let's just say that first.
Absolutely.
But we knew that it was going to be.
If you put those three matches there, it was not going to be a bad match.
Oh man.
Carmelo, for all the stuff we talk about, Carmelo is athletically one of the best people on SmackDown.
Exactly.
One of the best.
Exactly.
Andrade,
he is.
Andrade, also one of the best. Jacob, you already know how I feel about Jacob. Give him all the titles right now. So it wasn't gonna be a bad match by any means. So
No, not at all.
all the flips that they done
Not at
hit,
all.
all the interferences were all interesting. I know Miz was out there to help Carmelo. That makes sense. Then Jimmy runs out there
Yeah.
to disrupt everything with the bloodline, which makes sense considering what happened earlier that night. Um and yeah, and JC and Solo end up costing Solo the match. Um,
No. JC and Solo cost Jacob the match.
what I say?
JC and Solo cost Solo the match.
Oh wait, yeah, my bad. Cost Jacob the match.
Remember
My bad.
Jimmy came out there. Jimmy came out there to attack JC, who wasn't even involved in the match. And I get why he did that. But I in a way I kind of wanted Jacob to win the match and qualify, even though he's the champ. I wanted to see him because he's so freaking athletic. Oh, I just wanted to see him jump off the
You want to
line.
see what he was gonna do?
Yes, because you know it was gonna be a time.
I would say
Jacob is getting it. Him and Solo, this is it. Man, we finna get this. And I was so hyped. But I'll say that Solo cost him that match.
yeah, he did.
I ain't even gonna say JC did. Solo cost that match because Jacob had that match in the bag. Look at what he did. What was your well, we know what the purpose is. We already know what the purpose is. You're jealous. You know for a fact, just like Roman knew with Solo, how vicious Jacob is, how vicious he can be, how focused he is when he has, that not the light at the tunnel, but that pride sitting in front of him, and he's gonna do whatever it takes to get it. So you know that if Jacob is in this match, you got your work cut out. You probably know you can run through the other guys. Cool. But with Jacob in there, it's like, oh no, like I know what I'm working with. The same way how when Roman and Solo were together, and it was times where Roman would say something and Solo would just give him a look, and Roman knew to let me back up. Let me chill. Let me back down. It's that. So Solo getting up on the apron, telling him to do it again, and then stupid JC co-signing it. Do it again. Just do it again. What the hell are y'all doing up there?
And after everything happens, Jacob pulls up on both of them. Who was you for? What are y'all out here for? And
for real,
yeah.
Why are you here? Because why are you here?
Because
and he let them know very clearly, I don't need your help.
I don't need either one of y'all at this point. Done everything by myself so far. I won this title by myself. I don't need y'all.
But that's the thing that Solo has to realize. See, he needed you when you were the tribal chief, but you don't hold that weight anymore. He loves you and your family. But what he's saying is he's his own man. He got this far without you. He know he can handle his own. But at the same time, boy, now I don't need you to win no match. Like, y'all needed me to come out there and interfere to win matches, but I don't need y'all to win no match, and you already know that. But man, he went off. I thought that they would turn over a new leaf. Jacob told the man he loved him, last Friday, or the Friday before. And I'm thinking it was going to be good. But look at what you did, Solo. You done pissed off the Samoan werewolf. Like,
you tried.
I was really upset. But I'm cool because with Andrade being in the match, you already know that it's still going to be a lot of high flying moves. It's going to be some this is awesome, some OMGs, all of that, because he is an amazing superstar. I'm not gonna lie, when he won the match, I was like, they did that for Charlotte.
And then you got to remember that that's not the case no more.
Well, no, this is why I say that, because Charlotte divorced him not because she didn't love him, and not because he didn't love her. It was more personal issues within Charlotte, and um, I can respect that. It's kind of like I know I'm going through the stuff, like going through what I'm going through because she was real devastated behind that. She loved Andrade. She loves him. But it's like I think sometimes with certain relationships, and I had to talk to a family member about that today, that we get in our head, especially when you're going through personal issues and you don't want to feel like I'm pouring my burdens out on you or putting a damper to who you are in your life. So because I'm in this dark space, I'd rather just I don't want to ruin you. So I remove myself from the situation because even when it was her birthday and the post that he made about her and how beautiful she is to him, how much he loves her, that's how I knew like they still love each other, but he respect the fact that she's going through her own personal issues and battle right now. I mean, during the time of her divorce, she divorced him when she was out on injury. That was her biggest injury. Like she didn't know if she was going to be able to come back, and if this is her life, like it's her dad's life. Like look how long it took Rick to finally just hang up the boots.
Yeah,
Like
to almost die.
they put they all into this business, and she really Charlotte holds more on her because Charlotte didn't even want to become a wrestler. When I was a kid and Rick would be fighting, I would see matches. Charlotte was in the audience with her little Bob being the supportive daughter, and they were like his daughter Ashley is here and everything, and that's Charlotte. That's her real name, Ashley. So she would be there supporting, and so would his son. Now his son is the one that wanted to be the wrestler, but unfortunately, he ended up
His life got cut short.
passing. He ended up, yeah, his life got cut short, and that really, took a toll on Charlotte because they were extremely close, and Charlotte felt like it was her duty to fulfill her brother's dream, and she took it beyond. She didn't just get in the business; she got in the business to win because she is a Flair, and she knew that that's what her brother would have done if he were still here. So she said, "I pretty much, I'm not just fighting for me. So now that I'm on injury and I'm at the top of my dang career. Like I have more titles out of any woman in history, and I'm injured, and I probably possibly could not be able to do this anymore. That's depressing because she probably feels like I'm letting myself down. Brother, my family, what do they think of me? That's a lot that she's taking on. At the same time, your husband is still on TV. He's wrestling, he's fighting, he's in these big time matches, he's getting noticed, he's building all this traction, and you're just twisted in the background because you're not there. But I really felt like she was just in her own head about it because while you're at home and he on TV, you really don't have no choice but to sit there and just she's just stewing, you know, and everything that was going on with her. And I wish she would have just, I wish they could have worked it out. I really, really do. But yeah. But anyway, Andrade's in the match. That's amazing because I know he's going to put on a hell of a performance, a hell of a show. Um, and I can't wait to see it. I mean, we got some decent people in this match, so I believe it's going to be a fun time. Yes.
Indeed. And then last but not least, we had Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso. John Cena showed up, and I was completely and utterly shocked. And then Logan Paul, that he showed up. I didn't know that he was set to come out that on Friday.
Oh, you need to start keeping up. I knew my man was coming. But he said, y'all got me messed up. Don't put your nose in my business. On Saturday main event, I got something for you.
And then Logan Paul came out, and they had.
Wait, no. Don't be making that face for the Maverick.
Look,
man. You show some respect.
Look, man.
Okay.
If you go up against anybody that I like, you automatically the ops. And considering that man's what?
You said what?
Anytime you go up against somebody that I like, if I like somebody and you growing up against them, you automatically the ops.
Who do you like in this?
Jay.
Cody.
Jay.
What?
Jay.
Oh, Jay.
But then even outside of this, you gonna have him back and forth with Karrion Kross. That's the other thing. So I'm gonna let that go.
He ain't your favorite person right now.
He ain't my favorite person. So they had a conversation. John basically talks up how Logan Paul is the future of wrestling, And even though John's whole goal right now is to ruin wrestling, calling Logan Paul the future of wrestling seems more like an insult than anything. Um,
It does, because he also sat there and told Jay on Saturday night that imagine if, Jay loses his match to a YouTuber. That can almost ruin wrestling. So in a way, I didn't see why Logan was so happy about it, because he calling you a YouTuber. He don't respect you as being a superstar. He doesn't even look at you in that way. He knows that Jay is, which is why he said if Jay loses to you, that's a downgrade because you are a YouTuber. So in a way, but that just played case into the GOAT that John Cena is. He said that on Saturday, that next week, Logan Paul is singing John's praises, and John Cena goes
and
that.
John almost whooped his
Bro, he
ass.
downplayed you, and you don't even realize it.
And,
Like,
and and John almost whooped his ass too. Because remember when he was finna leave and go to the back, and Logan like grabbed him, and John was like,
you saw my man? My man said not today, and you think now what you grabbing on me for? Who are you? You should be happy that you even in this ring being my partner, and you telling me, oh, you want to fight? Didn't I say we ain't doing it? Now we don't got no choice because Cody wanted to come with this lame ass comeback.
nah, no.
Lame.
It was a decent one. It was decent.
Lame comeback.
It was decent.
And John, they had to throw down. They had to throw a few hands or whatnot.
No. Say what the comeback was. Where y'all going?
Can I say that? I didn't know if I could say it. That's why I just said it.
Because it ain't like we saying the actual word. So yeah, you probably.
Well, yeah. He said something about going back that posture in his Peacemaker, and it's kind of like, who you talking to, bro?
Nah. He was gonna go. Because where y'all going? You going back there to polish his Peacemaker? And like, yeah, that was solid. Wasn't the best thing in the world, but it was solid.
Cody, I can't even take you serious because every time Cody curses, it's like a little piece of him dies. You can tell looking on his face. It took a lot out of him to curse.
For real.
It took a lot. Like, he's such a good boy. Like, I don't want to say this. Like, but okay, I have to say it. Like, his wife, Brandy, natural. Him, I don't want to say these things. Like, Cody is such a good guy. So it's like, it's just funny. But yeah, I'm not sure how. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm not sure how I feel about it, because to be completely honest, I like all four guys within the match. You already know when it comes down to John Cena, whoever he's up against, I'm against them. And Cody Rhodes just so happens to be one of those people. I also feel like Cody needs a little rebranding. What did you say?
I said unless it's R-Truth. Because he was definitely on R-Truth's side. So
unless it's R-Truth. Because R-Truth can literally, R-Truth is a person that you can't debate about. R-Truth is somebody that does no wrong, and I can't debate it. I can't, because he doesn't. He's just a great guy. But yeah, I wasn't really, and this is how I know that Cody should have just stayed away, regardless of whatever's going on. I sing Cody's song every time he comes out. I will forever whoa. I did not whoa. I just stared at the TV because I was just like, why is he here? I'm not feeling it. Like, you should have been gone a little longer in order for us to miss you. We didn't have any. We want Cody chants. We want Cody hashtags. We didn't say anything. If anything, we wanted Roman. So it's like, I don't understand why you're back or why you're here, to be completely honest, but whatever. It's just, I don't know. I watched the match because of the four people that's involved, but it's still a Cody. I feel like she just still has some time away, because John beat you. He beat you. Took your title. I don't care how he beat you. The fact is that he did it. You need to go back away, because now what? Now this is a tag team match. Okay, whoever wins this tag team match, what does this solidify?
This literally makes no. This gets us nothing. Like, if anything, you should have just had this be your rematch, but you're probably saving that for SummerSlam. Which
do you see why everything that Cody gets involved in, it's boring.
Yes,
it's kind of
sometimes it don't make sense.
And that this makes not a sense.
Last year.
No. The last time a tag team made sense that Cody was in was when he tagged up with Seth Rollins against Roman Reigns and The Rock. That makes sense. This makes no type of sense. Even Cody with Jay when they won the titles made sense. But this right here makes no sense. The only thing that made sense was Cody coming out saving Jay.
Because why?
Okay, cool.
No.
He helped him because, because they already have the history there. Because for John to even come out and interfere and start beating on Jay was crazy. Right. I get John saying what he said backstage. I didn't understand why John needed to interfere in the match because you cost Logan the title. So right. I didn't get it.
But here's my thing. Like, I know that they have history, so it makes sense for them to come out. But why is it that the World Heavyweight Champion and the Undisputed Champion are in a tag team match against people that are obviously going to be going for their titles at a future point in time when you could just be defending the damn titles?
Well, you could have said the same thing about what? Roman and Rock and Seth and Cody.
No, because Roman was the WWE. We had a specific.
Well, we did because it was if they won, then this is how the night 2 was going to go. Right. So that did make sense. You're right about that. You're right.
But
you're right.
That
did make sense.
This makes no sense.
So it's like there's no stakes. So we have 2 champions who are not going to defend their titles, but they're both going to be involved collectively
on the PLE
and on a pay-per-view, a huge pay-per-view, and they're just going to be in a tag match. Oh, okay. So this couldn't happen on a Friday? On a Monday? No? We have to do this at a pay-per-view. Okay, all right. It makes no sense.
It's like everything that Raw touches just turns to crap.
This should have been John Cena versus R-Truth for a second match. And I would have been completely fine with it because R-Truth should have been on a quest to get the old John Cena back. So this should have been upcoming weeks. We only got at the time
like
when this all I
was gonna say 23 more dates with John Cena.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about until the Money in the Bank. Like how there was no time for John to build up a feud with someone else, which is why I said that this should have been John Cena versus R-Truth for a second time, because Money in the Bank is usually focused on Money in the Bank. Right, but if you guys are going to do a non-title match, then this would have made sense, because now after R-Truth did that segment after he lost to John Cena, and he said, you know what, I saw in his eyes that he's still there, or it could have been still building, and then they fight again at Money in the Bank, and then after that gives John enough time to build a feud with someone else leading into SummerSlam. That makes sense. This makes no sense. This is why we need to be there. Oh my God!
Everything that Raw touches turns to crap, and this is Raw written all over it because it involves Jey Uso, Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes, and John Cena. Everything Raw touches turns to crap. Clearly,
put me in the game, Coach. Put me in the game. I'm ready. I got my coffee and my notes. I am ready. We are ready. Just fly us out because we got this. Because
don't even fly us out. I can work remote. I don't care.
I gotta promote, but I need to be in the room with the writers because we need to be able to help them write the scripts to what's going on, because this is outrageous. This just makes no sense.
None whatsoever.
And then it's like, how many feuds are you going to involve Jay in? Jay is in something with Logan. Now he's in a tag match with Logan and with Cody. But then he also has Seth Rollins on his back, along with.
When was him supposed to fight?
Forgot about him. It's too much. Why y'all putting all of this? This didn't even happen back in the day when The Rock had a feud with Triple H. It was the feud between him and Triple H. It wasn't all that extra. And if you did have an extra outsider that's gunning for the title, all they would say is, like, a backstage segment. Coming for that. It'll be just that. But you know that your main feud is, I'm focused on what? This person right here, Triple H. And it wasn't all this extra. I don't understand where this is coming from.
You are a masterful storyteller, and all of the little threads are going to tie together. Cool. But they ain't been tying together.
Because they're not going to. And none of it makes sense. None of these could tie together. Maybe they could in the end. I don't know. But because again, they always shock us in the end. However, this build-up is just trash. I used to be so hyped for Mondays. Man, I get so damn hyped for SmackDown. I ain't missing it. I used to be so hyped for Mondays, like for real, and now it's like
And
I'm gonna
Raw,
watch it because it's Raw. I'm gonna
we
watch it
watch
because
it
it's Raw.
because I watch it because we do this podcast. That's why I'm watching Raw. I'm gonna be honest. The only reason I'm watching Raw now is because we do this podcast. And then I watch SmackDown for joy. AEW I watch for a little bit of something different, and then I watch TNA to see what's going on with NXT, and I watch NXT because NXT also brings me joy.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I ain't gonna even lie to you. NXT seems a little more interesting than what Raw got going on right now, and this is crazy. But right now, my main focus on Raw. I'm just looking at. I'm focused on Liv, the Judgment Day, Roxanne Perez. That's the thing I get hyped for. I'm not even getting. This
That's
is
the
crazy.
only thing. That's the only thing.
And mommy all day because Rhea Ripley, duh. But other than that, I'm always gonna yeet. Yeah, we know that. But I don't. I don't get so excited with Jay just because it's like, well, who he finna beef with tonight? Who he finna have a promo battle with tonight? Because it's not just one star he's focusing on. Who he finna talk to? Seth,
And then I
Braun.
want to know who you sent. What are you finna do with Bronson and Braun? Just go send them on missions. Like go, hey Bronson, you go get the Intercontinental title. That's what you do today. Braun, you go help him. Or send them to go get the tag team title so that we can actually have some
All
stuff
I know,
with the tag teams. And I know we
all
had,
I know is
matches with tag teams last week on Raw, but like I keep saying, the tag team division on Raw ain't doing nothing with the tag team division on SmackDown.
nothing has been the same ever since the imploding of the bloodline. Ever since Jay Uso left, ever since uh Roman lost his title, ever since Roman left, nothing has been the same. Nothing has been the same at all. It feels weird. We started to get, when Cody became champ, we thought that was like a yawn, but then things started building up and cooking, and we're like, okay, cool, all right, we out of the woods now. But now, I don't even know what to say, what to think. I don't. It's frustrating.
So, with that being the case, we'll have to see what comes next. But
Man, look,
I have
they
been,
better do something.
they got to do something. I have been as the Alchemist.
And it's your girl, Lola Love. I think this is the first time we have ever been upbeat at the end of our show. Y'all got to do something. Do y'all see what y'all doing to us? Y'all bringing us down. We are so frustrated. It's really taken all within the both of us not to go the hell off. Okay? So if y'all don't want to see us ranting next week and crashing out,
It's
y'all
only
got to come with
and it's
something
only
different,
about
please.
Raw. Only about Raw.
It's
Everything else,
literally only about Raw
and I promise you,
and our truth.
I told you, if anything happens to where I don't like it, if Logan Paul becomes the champion at any point in time during this year, I am literally not watching Raw, SmackDown. I will literally be watching NXT, TNA, and AEW, and that's what I will be talking on our half of the podcast. And you can talk about everything else and be miserable. That's what I'm gonna say right now,
So,
right here.
so all I'm saying is, damn Roxanne, damn,
Yes.
damn Drew McIntyre, damn Jacob Fatu,
If Drew come back, okay.
damn Jacob.
Let me reiterate. Let me fix it.
Okay, okay.
I'll watch SmackDown and everything else. But Raw,
I was gonna
it's
say,
over.
what you doing? What you doing?
I will sacrifice Roxanne. I will sacrifice Rhea.
Okay.
You can stay over there on Raw. SmackDown, NXT, AEW, TNA. That's it. But
Okay.
so don't.
Okay.
So
Wow.
with that, we are Lights Camera Wrestling. Follow us on all the things. We on Instagram. We on TikTok. We on here. LCW Pod on Instagram. Lights Camera Wrestling on everywhere else. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week, and hopefully we are in a better mood.
Hopefully, I gotta go have a drink.